Before I say anything else, I'm going to remember to hit record. So let's start, as we always do, with the stand-ups from our teams. So as always, you guys got the drill figured out by now. I'm going to go down the list of teams. If you are the representative from that team today, just shout out so that your face pops up and share with us what validation you've done this week and where you guys are kind of standing. You're feeling like things are great, we've validated, we know, or we're going to have to do a last minute pivot maybe. So team number 1.
Hi, how's it going?
Hello, good. Welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, so I guess as far as validation goes, this past week we had a poll kind of circulating around social media, as well as kind of our own personal circles and friend groups and classmates. And to be honest, we were going to go through it as a group tonight, the results of that poll. So I think after tonight, we'll have a better idea of if things are looking good or if we're going to have to scramble. But I think we're feeling pretty positive just based on general feedback, I guess, from people, like by word of mouth.
Awesome, fabulous. Good.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, what was in your poll? What was the question that you asked for the validation? Do you think informations that you're happy about, and what the kind of information you got?
Yeah, well, the type of questions we asked, we wanted it to be a bit of a short and sweet poll so that more people would fill it out. So we kind of had questions like, your general feeling about climate change, like, does it make you feel anxious? Are you calm about it, or whatever, and then would you be willing to change your actions or your personal kind of habits to help with climate change, things like that, where they're more leading questions. But yeah, we'll go through those tonight, I think.
Nice, awesome.
Okay, that's
and
great.
Remind us, just for everybody who
yeah,
doesn't creep on everyone's chats, what was your solution that you guys were looking at?
Yeah, so we're actually doing an app as well, I guess, as a lot of people, but an app that kind of it's like a Duolingo-esque kind of thing, or maybe a Couch to 5K-esque kind of thing, where you take a theme. So like, let's say somebody wants to get better at their waste or their plastic use or their energy use, they can pick that theme, and it's like kind of challenges slash actions that you can change that will get you, they get harder, I suppose, like from little changes to more drastic changes. And then by the end of it, you'll get an actual metric that shows you, well, if you've done these actions, this is how much CO2 you've reduced from your own carbon footprint.
Nice. Awesome. Very cool.
Thanks.
I would go with that. So cool. Thanks, team 1.
Thanks.
Team number 2.
Hi guys, how's everyone?
Hello.
So this week our team was a bit disjointed. We were all quite busy, so we didn't get a great chance to talk all together, but we did brainstorm some ideas, more solutions. In terms of the validation, I think our main idea was an app, but we kind of figured out that was already done. Then we were looking at a kind of workshop, and we were kind of figuring out how we couldn't see a way where everybody would go to it. So in terms of talking to people, we're doing fast fashion, sorry, I should have said at the start, and or how to counteract it. So I was kind of asking around myself, and I did contact one company who are very educational on it, who kind of rate brands themselves, and they kind of directed me towards how they rate different brands. So we're going to have a chat after this. We've a build up of information now, so we just need it all tie together. So I think team 1, we're going to meet after this and try and tie it all together. But yeah, that was us for this week.
Awesome. Good. That sounds good. It sounds like even where you don't have information, you have a plan on how you're going to get it. So
yeah, please God.
And yes. And I'm glad to hear that you guys had an idea and found out it might not be the best way to go about it, and that you've changed direction, that you aren't just like blindly going forward. So stubbornness is not the way to go with with new ideas. So cool. Thank you guys. Thanks, Harry. All right, team number 5. What do you guys do? Going once, going twice. Team number 5. Nope. Okay, team number 6.
Hey, bonsoir. So yeah, we'd a bit of a rough week in some sense, but we're a team member down, unfortunately, just with other commitments. So but the rest of us are still there, sort of grouped around the idea. So our original idea, we had to sort of back off, and then we sort of changed it. And from changing or realizing that our original idea wasn't going to work, we were able to develop our next idea that we're going with now. So it's a platform for connecting people to sustainability initiatives and rewarding them for their engagement. So it's probably going to be in the form of an app, like a lot of other people here. We've got some validation, some surveys, but it's been in our sort of own sort of circles, and we're all sort of friends with similar sustainable minded people, so it might be a little bit skewed at the minute. So we still have to get it out sort of into like a wider public. And yeah, we're going to meet up again after this to sort of discuss our next few steps, and hopefully maybe talk to some other like professionals in the area this week, and work on that and get some more validation as well from the organization side of things.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, sounds good. I love hearing, that's what I was telling, I have a friend who does hackathons too, and I was telling him that I was really excited to see today whether or not people came in and said exactly what the last 2 teams have said, that we had an idea, we found out it wasn't going to work, and we have changed, versus we found out it's not going to work, we're still doing it. So I'm I'm so happy to hear that you guys have changed, even though I know that's stressful, more stressful for you guys, but it leads to a better solution at the end for sure. So yeah. Cool, thank you. Team number 6. All right, team number 7. Ready already?
Hi, yeah, this is Sangha from team 7. So we also had an app-based solution. So our idea was to reduce meat consumption in our campuses. And we went with an app that would be able to scan your food item and tell you which one you should choose, something like that. But then thinking about it a little bit more, we decided that it might be difficult to get people to use it. That's one issue. And the other one was about implementing it. So an app like that would involve a lot of data input, right? So you need lots of different pictures for the app to identify what something is and things like that. So yeah, it's a bit difficult to implement it. So we had that kind of doubt whether we should go ahead with the idea, but we probably will. So we are now thinking about changing it to calculating our carbon footprint, but the calculators we checked are kind of very cumbersome. Like you have to enter a lot of details into the app to get your final number and things like that. So we want to make that process a little bit easier. So we're still kind of discussing about how to go ahead with that idea. So yeah, hopefully we've changed a little bit, but not too much from the original one. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that sounds great. Nice work. Thank you, Sangha. Next up, team number 9. Right here. Going on. Oh, maybe.
Hello.
Yeah.
My camera's not great at the moment, and so.
No problem.
But yeah. So our group is planning to like promote the usage of plant-based meats and kind of like alternative meats to help the climate. As the meat has a huge effect on it. We were doing a couple of interviews to see what people's opinion is of plant-based meat. And just amongst our immediate circle, that would be like family and neighbors. It's not great. There's a lot of concern over how processed it is and so on and so forth, and its health benefits and all that. So we were thinking of raising awareness that it's good for you and all that. But we haven't done much like large scale surveys or anything of that. So I think there's still a lot of work to do. Yeah.
No, it sounds like you have a great start though, and this is for everybody as well. We do know, and the judges do know, that you guys have limited time to do this, that you're doing this less than part-time. They don't expect, you don't have to have a sample size of 10,000 people or something. If you're, you can pull your friends and neighbors for this one. So no, it sounds like you guys have a great start though. Did you any surprising feedback that you got that you didn't expect you might get this week?
Yeah, there's a lot of I interviewed a sport, like one of my my cousins, which is in sports science and health science, and even he doesn't think that you could have a diet, like a healthy diet, like doing exercise and also having like vegan foods, which was quite surprising.
Interesting. I know several vegan athletes who would probably beg to differ, but so yeah, you guys have a big hill to get over. So cool. Sounds like you guys got some great insights though. So thank you, Liam. Team 9. Team number 10.
Hi.
Hello.
So we are doing our project on the disposal of coffee cups, and we wanted to spread the usage of compostable coffee cups that then would be disposed in a specially designed bins that would scan the QR codes printed on the cups and then would display back a QR code for the user to scan using an application, and it would log the coffee cups that the user has consumed in order to get discounts on the shops that were part in the service. So in order to validate that idea, we did a survey for the consumers, especially college students. Then we also tried to contact the Green Campus office to know whether it would be feasible to locate the bins on campus, and tried to contact the minister and the former minister, and the former minister actually had a good impression on our idea and said that it was a really good thing to do, especially for the amount of coffee cups that are consumed.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, sounds like you guys got great validation then.
Yeah.
Did you get any negative feedback?
Yes, we got negative from the campus. It was that they said that there were already compost bins around campus. So since I am living on campus, I did a walk and I could find 1 or 2 only. So I replied to them saying there might not be enough because there are a lot of street bins. So, and in those street bins, people throw the cups, whether they are recycling or not, and they are gonna end in landfills either way. So propose to put more compost bins around.
Nice. Good. Sounds like you have a good plan for sure. And you found, there you go, a hole in the market for bins on campus.
Yes.
So awesome. Great. Thank you. Team 10. All right, last but not least, team number 11. How are you guys here? I know they've had some schedule issues. Any team 11 folks? Nope. Okay, I'll get in touch with them later to check in. All right, cool. Great work, everybody, this week. Awesome feedback, awesome validation or anti-validation, whatever the opposite of validation would be. But overall information that you've all put to good use. So super thrilled. All right, let's talk about what's going to come up this week, or what we're going to work on this weekend. So this weekend is all about presenting your information, whatever sort of prototype or anything that you have created, and kind of fine-tuning that presentation to be as perfect, as clean, as polished as we can possibly get it. Excuse me. So 9:30 on Saturday, we'll have a talk about how to pitch. We'll do a little bit of that today as well, and then we'll have kind of a refresher Saturday morning so that you just get it instilled in your mind of what we're doing and what you want to focus on. It's also a good time you can ask questions if in working on stuff throughout the week you've run into roadblocks or you're not sure if this is the best way to do things. You can ask them there where everybody can hear the answers. Maybe somebody else's question will spark a question for you as well. Then you get lots of time to work on your pitch, to practice your pitch. I recommend practicing your pitch a lot. Sophie and I will be on call. Maybe a few of the mentors will drop through. And we're always there if you want to say, hey, we have a draft of the pitch and we would like to do it for somebody to get feedback. We are there. We love watching people's pitches and giving feedback. Let us know. We're happy to drop in and watch your pitch and tell you that you went over time or that something dragged or that there was too many bullet points on your slide. I will tell you that, I promise you. So use us as resources or use anybody else who is in as resources to say, is this a good pitch? Should I change things? And you have, like I said there, you have lots of time to work on it. And then we can go through the next, we'll have a little chat about what to have in your demo and how the demos are going to work. We'll also, again, go through that today as well. And then same as the pitch, that's a time where you can ask questions, you can get clarification, you can talk through anything that you need to go through or that you're unsure about. And then you have another long stretch of time. You have another long stretch of time to practice your demos, to make sure that everything is working, to make sure that what you want to show is showable, is that you're that it works, that you can show it on screen. And again, use us, use anybody else who is there as a resource to say, can I show this to you? Can you, here's the link to the demo. Can you click around and make sure that all of the links work and that nothing goes black screen or I get a 404. And then at 3:30, we're going to have forced pitch practice. So this is so that we're going to watch everybody's. This is going to be sort of your dress rehearsal in theater terms. It would be the closest to your final product that you're going to have before the final day. And you have to show it to us at this point. So at 3:30 on Saturday, you have to show us a almost there final draft of your pitch. This is partially so that we know that you can do it pretty close to within the time frame. So you have 5 minutes to do your pitch. So this is so that we know that you can get it done and out in 5 minutes or less, because if you go over 5 minutes, I will mute you. And so it's not like a normal presentation where you can just kind of keep talking and talking. I will turn your camera off and I will make you stop sharing your screen. So make sure you can do it in under 5 minutes or else. And this is, again, a place to get feedback from everybody before you get it in front of the judges. And then at 5:30, and if it doesn't take 2 hours, we can do things earlier as well. And then after that, we'll do a practice of your demos. So you'll also have 5 minutes to demo your product. So you don't have to include the demo, and I'm going to go through this all again later. You don't have to include your demo in your pitch. So your pitch can be entirely about your validation, your research, all of the kind of non-tangible aspects of your project. And the demo can be entirely about, here's the thing that we've made. It's so cool. Let me show it to you. Here's a link where you can click through it yourself. You'll also have 5 minutes about for that. And so the demo practice is, again, to make sure that everything is clean, everything is working, and that you can do it in the allotted time. And that you can reset in between as well, which is a very important one too, that you can do it once while the judges are switching to the next channel. You can reset everything and be ready for the next judge to come in. Next up, we're going to go through all of this. Excuse me. Sunday is really just about doing your pitch and doing your demo. We have a little bit of an intro, just a quick overview of what we're going to do for the day again, time to ask questions if you need to, if you have any last minute questions. At 10 o'clock, you'll have a last minute chance to practice within your group for your pitch. If there's anything that you guys need to go over, if there's anything that you need to test or check, that's your last little half hour there to get it done. At 10:30, we will test all of the tech. There we go. For the teams, just to make sure that you can share your screen, that all your links are working, that your sound is working if you have it, whatever you need to make sure it works. And then at 11 o'clock, the judges will come to each of your team's voice channels and will watch your demo. You'll show them for about 5 minutes what you've created, and then you'll have a little break. And then at whatever is after that, 12 o'clock, the judges will watch your final pitches. So we'll do the final pitches on Zoom like this, similar to the way we do the stand-ups, but you'll share your screen with whatever slide deck you have created. And whoever you have chosen to be your speaker will speak. And then after that, the judges will have a few minutes to ask you questions as well. And then the judges will deliberate, and hopefully they won't take too long. And then we'll have a speaker during that time, Dara Conway. He's gonna give us a little pep talk about where you can go from here and some interesting stuff. And then 1:30, we'll announce the winners. And then you can have the rest of your Sunday afternoon to relax and recuperate. And next one. Okay, so this week is really about planning and making sure that you have everything you need ready for preparing your final pitch and demo on Saturdays or on Sunday. So lots of planning this week. A quote, as always, from Dwight D. Eisenhower: "Plans are nothing, planning is everything." So you can make plans, but if you don't have a plan to put those plans into action, nothing's going to work. So first off, let's talk about what needs to be in the pitch. Ooh, cool. I just got cool news, and I'll tell you again. I'll tell you about it at the end. So that you'll be strategically stressed out for the rest of the week. So what needs to be in the pitch? This is a baseball pitch, similar to, I would think, a cricket pitch or process of throwing any kind of a ball. If you go through the right process, you'll get the right result. Yeah. There are steps involved in throwing a ball. There's steps involved in presenting a pitch to a panel of judges or to a client. So this is what the judges are looking for, and this is what you should include in your pitch. Your problem research. You need to see within the pitch that you know what you're talking about, you know what your problem is, and that you know what's causing the problem. So think back to what David was talking about in that very first day about digging down and showing that you found kind of the core issue, and that you know that this is a product, this is the solution that is going to solve that very core issue that's happening. And remember that David is going to be one of your judges. So he's really, really looking for that. I spoke to him today, actually, and he was saying, well, have they dug down? Have they scraped away all the extra stuff? So he's especially looking for that. And then we want to present your solution, obviously, and then show your validation. So prove that you know that this is the solution that works, and that you've checked that. So this is where it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but this is where you can talk about, we had this other idea and we saw that it wasn't going to work. And so this is what we've done instead. That shows really well that you're willing to take feedback, that you're willing to apply that feedback, that you're not you're not going to just cherish an idea because you had it versus because it's the right solution. Yeah. So show that you've checked it, show that you've done the work, show that you've made changes to your solution based on the information that you were given. And show So it's called business applications in the criteria, but this is, show that it fits into the overall structure of of the industry that you're addressing. Yeah. So we talked a bit last week about the idea of proving that you're not going to cause extra problems by creating, by putting in this solution. So this is where you can show that kind of thing. Or show that, this is going to save the college money, or this is going to save X amount of carbon emissions in the long run, or people will be more healthy by, this much by eating this way. Whatever sort of KPIs or measurement criteria that you're using to prove that your solution is successful, you can talk about that here in this section, the business application section. And then they're also looking for, how did you present? Was it a creative pitch? Was it something that we wanted to see more of? Do we want to know more about this product? Do we want to know more about this team? Is this something that we believe in? So that's the kind of, the showmanship aspect of putting on the pitch. That's my favorite part. So if you have questions about that bit, come ask me, please. And then in the demo, the judges are, what are the judges looking for there? So we understand that this is, you've probably made this prototype in a weekend or in Saturday or just in this week. And so we're not looking for, it doesn't have to be grand design. We just want to see basically what the workflow is going to be like. So first off, does it work? Is it something that says like, oh yeah, okay, this does what you're telling me it's going to do? It gives me information. It helps me to connect with people. It helps me to understand how I can have an impact, etc. Whatever it is that you've said it's going to do, does it actually do that? If you're doing something that isn't an app, or that isn't, excuse me, that isn't really obvious, doesn't have an obvious way to demonstrate it. So the coffee cups, for example, you can get creative, make a video. You can show, the different types of cups that you could have. You could show how the QR code system will work. So for everyone, kind of, you can get creative in how you're going to demo your product. It doesn't have to be just, here's a link to an app that we made and click it. So it's a mini pitch before the rest of the pitch. And then also your user experience and its applicability. Is it something that feels nice? Does it look like it's going to be fun to use? Does it look like something that I want to use? Is it sort of welcoming? And do you make clear how it fits in to the overall process of whatever solution, or wherever the problem you're looking at fits? So how are you going to put all that together? Let's first talk about organizing your pitch flow. This is the last Dilbert cartoon you have to see, guys. So organizing will take your stress away, right? Once you know what you need and where it all is, you can just calmly go forward to your pitch, to creating your pitch. So let's talk about organizing information. This is the basic flow, like I talked about. It follows the same pattern as the judges' criteria. So everything fits together very nicely. So this is the kind of standard pitch flow. What is the problem? Explain to me the problem so that I understand it and I understand why it needs to be solved. This is how you demonstrate that you know what the problem is, that you know what the core cause of it is, and that you know why it's a present issue. Why is it something that we need to solve right now? What is the cause? That's that core cause that you talked about. What's your solution, and why is it the best answer to that cause of your problem? There we go. So this is where you're showing your solutions, where you're showing your validation, how it fits into the overall workflow. You can briefly say, this is the process that I'll use. This is how it improves everything. It doesn't have any negative side effects. Show us that you've done your validation in this part. And then give us a nice closing wrap up. Really drive home why it is that you're the solution that people should choose, You're the one that has the right answers. You're the one that that deserves to win. And then organizing what you want to show in your prototype and your demo. Focusing first on what is the key feature of your product. So especially when you have kind of a short amount of time, what is the main thing that people are going to look at and they're going to go, wow, that's amazing. I want that. I don't care what else is attached around it. That is what I want. That is what you want to show in the demo on Sunday. That thing that's really going to grab people's attention and really and pull them into wanting to support your product, support your solution, pay for it eventually. What is the thing? So that's the thing. What is the thing that people will connect with? Is it the usability? Is it the information? Is it whatever? What is the thing that people are going to say like, yes, I understand that, I want it? How can you demonstrate that? So I saw in a few of the chats, there was some questions about building an app, building a prototype. I'm going to talk you through a couple of different options after this, so that you have a few different ways to demonstrate how it works within the workflow, or figuring out for yourself, how are we going to show something that its workflow is outside? If it's about, printing paper, how do we show that workflow? If it's about where you put your cups, how do we show that workflow? So you can get creative. Like I said, videos are great, animations are great, cartoons are great, pictures, worth 1,000 words. You can find ways to demonstrate it for people. And then how can people get their hands on it? If you are making a prototype app, can you get a shareable link that you can give to the judges? And while you're talking to them, they can click through it themselves. Is it about giving them a map of trash cans that are available? Is it about demonstrating to them the way that you would deliver your information? So figuring out for yourself, and again, an option to get creative, or an opportunity to get creative. How can people get their hands on your app or on your solution and really try it for themselves? Okay, and then as always, setting your plan for the week. So, and this is where I would highly, highly recommend the team divide and conquer. Who feels really comfortable with pitching, with talking to people, with presenting images, excuse me, with presenting images or presenting ideas? Focus on the pitch. Put together what information you have, where you're going to put that in your problem, solution, your causes, your solution, etc., and start to build up that kind of basic outline skeleton of your pitch. For people who, if you maybe feel more comfortable building something or structuring something, or doing a bit of no-code app build, or if you're up for it, code it fully, focus on the prototype. So you guys can focus on building out whatever it is that needs to be built for the weekend. Figure out who will do what, and then, as it sounds like with a few of the teams, that if there are any last-minute research tasks that you need to complete before the weekend, figure out who's going to do those as well. So definitely a week of assigning lots of people, lots of tasks, or lots of people different tasks, going off and doing your tasks, and then coming back together towards the end of the week. So pretty simple but not easy kind of to-do list for this week. All right, so I'm going to show really quickly. Well, first off, any questions about that much? Any questions about that much? Because I just threw a lot of information at you and it was kind of loose. No? Okay. As always, I never know if silence means we've got it or we have no idea. So if you have questions, as always, you can throw them up in the chat or ask me in Miro. I'm going to show you one option that I really like for creating for creating simple prototypes that you can click through, or mock-ups really, that you can click through. So this is a product called Figma. It's free, which is part of why I really like it. It's similar to Designer, I think, from Adobe. So you lay out all of your screens. Within it, it has a lot of really nice templates as well, so that you can say, oh, this is kind of the general idea of what we want things to look like. And it will populate the entire process for you. And you just go in and change the names or the words or the buttons or the colors, whatever you want to change. And it's really simple. You can kind of design things similarly that you can to in, say, Illustrator. And then this is a view only one, but you would click prototype. There's a prototype button over in the corner, and then you link up one button to the next thing. So I can say, okay, I want this button here, and I click it and I drag it over to align to this screen, and I know that that's where it's going to go. So it's really visual, it's pretty intuitive, and it gives you a really nice product at the end that you can show people. This is what the process is going to look like, that you can click on. So this is actually a project of mine, and so this is, we say, okay, you know, I'm going to click on this, and it'll come to here, and I can click. And if you're trying to click something that doesn't work, it'll tell you that you can't click on that. So it's really nice. I'm going to have all of these links will be in the information at the end of today. And in terms of Miro templates, I know, shockingly, there are none for this week, because it's just a list of things to do. So I would say for this week, if you're organizing your pitch, just give yourself a list. Make yourself a bullet pointed list of, this is what we want to include, and this is what we want to show in our show, what information is important for us to include in our presentation. I have one more, 1 second. I just closed what I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you one quick example of, well, maybe I won't show it to you because it's frozen now. So I'll just tell you what it is then. For your pitch presentation, I do not want it to look like the slides that I show you guys in these workshops. I recommend having as little text as possible in your slides. If you can have slides that are entirely images, the better. I don't want, when you put information on a slide, and all of the information is on the slide, people are going to sit and read the slide and not listen to you. And once I've read the slide, I say, okay, I've got all the information, and my mind is going to wander, and maybe I'm going to miss something that's super, super important that you've said that wasn't included on the slide. And even myself, I try not to do that, and I find myself doing it anyway. So make sure, try to have as little information, or as little text on your slide as possible. Just go for images. People, like I said, pictures worth 1,000 words. If you have pictures, people will remember them, and people will remember your presentation, as opposed to having to read a bunch of stuff and feeling like they're back in school again. And we'll go over that more on Saturday as well. Is the pitch on Discord? No, so the pitch will be on Zoom. Excuse me, gosh. And the pitch will be on Zoom. So the demos are going to be on Discord. They're going to be in your team voice channels, like where you guys have been having your meetings. And then the pitches will all come on to one big Zoom like this, and have our final round of pitches, or have the round of pitches. So my last, or Sophie, do you want to announce it? Seems more better, or seems more fitting coming from you. Our last bit of exciting information.
No, I just wanted to say that you'll get an audience, and few people are going to talk before your pitches at 11, and you'll have a French ambassador that's going to come and say a few words. And yeah, so that's good. He's taking the time to come and see what you've been working on. So that's great. I mean, that's great to have good people and a good audience to do the pitch. So just wanted to let you know this, just in case you thought people didn't care about what you were doing. We do. Lots.
We do care. So yeah, now you have some like strategic stress pressure for the rest of the week. It's not just us and the judges that are going to see it. Oh, and that was the last thing I was going to say. I'm going to put in to the Discord now who all the judges are going to be. You're welcome to go out and learn more about them. Please do not stalk them and bother them and say like, hi, I'm in the thing this weekend and you should vote for me. Don't do that. But you're welcome to go out and learn more about them. I would recommend kind of figuring out how to tailor your pitch to things that they are interested in or to aspects of their work. People always like to see themselves in other people's presentations in a way. So I will drop those into the Discord now, along with all of the information, these slides, and once this video is uploaded, hopefully faster than last week's did, the link to the video as well. Any other questions before I send you guys off to your meetings for after? Oh, sorry, last thing. Last thing. We have a special mentor available this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. His name's Xavier. So he's going to do a group mentor meeting. So the way these work, they're really fun. They're really a nice way to get a lot of feedback. You can send one or a couple of representatives from your team to his meeting, and it's posted in the Discord. It'll be on Zoom, so you can all chat, and you ask them questions about what you're working on, about your ideas, and everybody can bounce ideas off of each other. So it's a nice sort of big melee of information, and you just get to see a little bit of what other people are working on, maybe get inspired by the questions they ask to ask your own, and try and get as much information out of him as possible. And you guys should also have your last mentor meeting this week as well, if you haven't already had it last week. Yeah, now I'm for sure I have everything off the list said. So for the last time, if there are any questions before we go, shout them out now. All right. I need the Jeopardy music for this moment. So cool. I'll let you guys go then to get together in your teams, since I know a lot of you are itching to have meetings this evening. And again, amazing work from everybody for the entire of all of the workshops so far and for every week. It's really been impressive to see how much work y'all have gotten done on top of school and working and what lives we have during COVID. So give yourselves a huge pat on the back. You've made it this far, and one more week to go and you're almost there. This is the fun part. So nice work, everybody. Bravo. And we'll see you all on Saturday morning. Bye.
Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.